everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Real Estate Collective, brought to you by WFG National Title. I'm your host, Lisa Suazo, and I am so thrilled today to have as our guest Kelly Nichols.
Thank you.
So a little bit about Kelly, you guys. Kelly has been in the real estate industry for over 24 years. Is that right?
I started when I was 2.
Yeah, you must
Correct.
have been.
Correct.
And in that time, she has extensive experience in new builds. She's been through foreclosure certified. So she has experienced many different markets and has a ton of expertise to share. So Kelly, thank you so much for
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
Okay, so just to dive in, for people who may not know you, tell us a little bit about your real estate journey. So I know you first started with a builder, I think, and then moved into residential. So tell us about how that transition occurred.
I was in dire need of a new job, and actually I was building a home, and I started working for that marketing company that was handling the builder. And then my boss at the time, became the vice president of sales and marketing for what was then Ryland Homes. And so he took me with him. And so that's when I started new homes sales. Then I became a national manager of sales training. And then I got engaged and got married, and I couldn't be on the road for 5 days a week. So I came back as Denver sales manager. When the downturn happened, I had several hats. I had to be the Denver sales manager, Northern California and Phoenix all at the same time, and sell out on site. So my wonderful father-in-law said, first of all, a Nichols always works for themselves. Second of all, he said, if you're working this hard, you need to go out. And so that's when I transitioned into RE/MAX and RE/MAX Professional specifically. Alan Smith was the first agent I ever met when I was with the builder, and so I called him and I said, I need to know what my options are. And he said, you have one, and it's here. And I've been there ever since. So yeah, I have been there for 12 years now. A little over 12 years now.
So I think that is also something that's really incredible and unique. I mean, I think it's pretty rare in this business. So I feel like for the broker owners watching, what are those things that are near and dear to your heart, or what are the things that have really kept you at that same brokerage?
That's a really good question, because early on with Ryland, it felt like a family. And I also got to see the good, the bad, and the ugly of different brokerages coming in through my sales office, and it always stood out that RE/MAX, and in this case, RE/MAX Professionals, they just kind of seemed like a cut above, and they were really professional. And the office that I work out of, it's my family. And from the minute I walked in there, I was like, this is home. So, and the support that they give me, I think is, paramount to my success that I've been able to have, and really let me kind of have the say in where my business goes, how much I want to grow. And they're there to help. They're there to support whatever I want to do. I'm not told I have to do this or I have to do that. So that's why I like it so much.
It's like that perfect blend of sort of the support and the freedom.
100%. It's my business. I'm the agent with horsepower, and it's, so that's, even though I'm RE/MAX Professionals, I still have my own branding. Mm-hmm. So that's important.
That's important. That's hugely important. Mm-hmm. I think having that personal brand is another thing that has become, it's always been important, I think, in real estate, but even now, with influencer marketing and all of that kind of thing, that idea of having a personal brand is super important. Sure. And you are the agent with horsepower.
I am the agent with horsepower.
And I love a good, meaningful personal brand. So,
of course you do.
So can you please tell our audience a little bit more about your personal brand, Agent with Horsepower? Where did that come from? Why is it so meaningful?
Yes, I can tell you. So I did not come up with it, first of all. I have always loved cars. And my husband is a vintage race car driver. He's a dentist, but he's a vintage race car driver for the fun of it. And so I did not know anything about that. I just thought racing was either left turns or straight lines and stuff. And although I respect the racing, not my cup of tea. So my husband got me into what's called vintage racing, and it's vintage sports cars, and it's road tracks, so right and left turns, like Formula One turns that you would see at Grand Prix, that type of thing.
Not the round and round and round.
No, and there's nothing wrong with round and round, but this is just, it's a little bit different. So I started racing. And I got my competition license, and so I race in Colorado and Wisconsin at Road America, stuff like that. And one of my former managing brokers just said, you just need to get some horsepower into you. Oh, you're the agent with horsepower. And I'm like, that's the cheesiest thing I think I've ever heard. But it stuck. So it's my branding. And I will tell you, my father-in-law is a securities attorney. He sets up corporations. He federally trademarked me. So
Wow.
Nobody can be the agent with horsepower. I am actually federally trademarked now.
You are the true.
I am the agent with horsepower. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But it's fun. I mean, it's great, and we do a lot of also a lot of charity events and things like that. So it's better stress relief than golf. And so I always tell people go, well, how does that translate to real estate? And I go, well, I tell my buyers, well, because it's so busy and you have to get to these places before they go. I said, the average agent can get you to 6. I can get you to 10. So I can drive a little faster.
I can move faster.
Yes, I can.
And definitely, obviously, like, handle some stress. Like, if I was in that car, I would be, not good. I was speechless just thinking about it.
You know what? There are a lot of good racing analogies that go to real estate, and you do have to stay focused. If you don't in your race car, you're going to end up off the track. And like in real estate, you've got to stay focused on what's ahead of you. I kind of liken it to it's the old adage: the windshield and the rearview mirror are apportioned appropriately to the size you're supposed to be spending in each. So all of that out there is where your target is. And it's where your target is as a title company. You've got your opportunity out in front. Look in your rearview mirror, see who's back there and everything. Remember where you came from. But don't keep looking backwards, because you won't be looking forwards, and then you'll crash.
Yeah,
So
right.
yes, and so it's really helped in my own business as far as that goes. And as I'm sure in title work, these are businesses. You have to focus on what's ahead of you.
What's ahead of you? I love that so much, Kelly. I think it's so true. And actually, I think that's a great segue into, I'd love to ask you a little bit about just the market and this idea of, what's ahead of us versus what's behind us. Because I feel like we've done a crazy, about face in the last few months. So with, the last couple years, I feel like have just been incredible. Appreciation rates have gone up. We saw situations with 20, 30, 40 offers on a home. It was crazy.
Right.
And with, the shift in the market, we've got interest rates going up. Things have changed a lot.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of media coverage on this. And from my perspective, kind of a lot of fear, right? A lot of people are kind of panicked now, like, oh my God, what's happening? Can I sell my house? Is it smart to buy with interest rates this high? So looking ahead, and with the experience and the knowledge that you've had in different markets, what might be your, advice, words of wisdom for people on what to focus on?
Well, there's so many different market segments, so it might be a little bit different for each market segment. But I think that the really big message right now is perspective. Let's keep perspective, because when I came in and I bought my first home, I bought at 12%. I did a consolidation loan and threw all my debt in it, and it went down to 10%, and I thought I hit the lottery. So I think it's all perspective on where you've come from. I think people that have just entered into the home buying market, in the last few years, are seeing, these incredible interest rates at, sometimes below 3%, or, to 3 to 3.5 and everything. And now we're sitting at 5, maybe a little bit over. And we've been bouncing like crazy because we're just in really crazy times right now. But, our markets always adjust. They always stabilize. This isn't anything new. And I know everybody's got shell shock from what we went through, but we're not based on that now. We're not based on all these all these loans bundled together and doing everything that was somewhat of the cause of what happened. I mean, there are a lot of different, aspects of that, but perception's reality. And if that's what you're afraid of, that's what you're going to be afraid coming in now. Interest rates are going up, gas is up, everything, inflation is up, the sky is falling. Well, it's not. I can tell you, it's not falling. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be tempered a little bit. And I think that's healthy for any market. It needs to stabilize. We always see this. And this has been happening. Let's see. Went through one in 90, I went through one in 2001, 2002, and then we went up, and then obviously the big recession that we went through. And then we're seeing it come up. Now it's going to stabilize. 'Twas ever thus. So there's some great opportunities out there. Interest rates are not that high. Do we see multiple offers like we did before? Not necessarily. And again, pricing appropriately in any market for sellers is paramount. I don't care what market you're in. Price appropriately for it, and then let the market decide if you're right or wrong. The one thing I've learned, the market's never wrong. They're either going to reward you or they're going to slap you right upside the head. But the market is never wrong. So I think it's really important to educate people that way and to be patient. Just take a deep breath and be patient. It's going to be fine.
It's going to be fine.
It always is.
I love it. The market is never wrong. And perspective. I love
Perspective.
that, right?
Yeah.
Well, can you imagine for those people who came in where rates were below 3%, that is, none of us have ever seen that before. So, a 12% interest rate compared to a 5.
True.
It's true. Hey, not so bad. No. So, well, with those, the challenges to the consumers in the market, I know though that it's great to have it's important to have a real estate guide, an advisor, someone who can really help you to breathe, see that perspective, give you that guidance. So in your perspective, Kelly, what are also for our real estate agents out there who are listening, who might be a little bit newer or maybe have never been in a market that's shifted in this way, what are the qualities that you think that an agent needs to have to weather the storms, to be successful, whether it's characteristics or, qualities that you would see as very valuable?
Oh boy. You know what? I think overall, be calm. Be knowledgeable about what's going on. Don't just take, like you said, I love when you said the media. I'm like, oh God. Don't just take what you hear on the media. Do your own research and go to your trusted title companies. Go to your trusted lenders. Go find out what's really happening. Financial planners, tax advisors. Get all those, because we're not financial.
The people who are in it all day, not just reporting on it.
Exactly. They don't know. And you can get told one thing from somebody and one thing from another person, and you don't know who to believe. So I think surround yourself with good, solid, trusted advisors and get that information firsthand on what's truly going on. Not the stuff that you're just hearing on, the different sources out there. Some of it's okay, and I'm not knocking it all. I mean, we're all out there on social media. We have to be. But really dive in and be knowledgeable, because you brought up the biggest one. There is so much fear out there right now. And there's nothing really, knowledge is power, and it knocks out fear. Fear is just the lack of knowledge. So the more you can arm yourself with that and speak to what somebody might be afraid of and go, well, let's look at our options. I think always having a game plan of options, 1, 2, 3, for any client that you have, that will help them trust you more, and it'll help allay their fears a little bit, that we're not stuck in a corner, we're not in a box. There are options out there. And you know what? Not everything has to happen now. We need to remember that everybody's got their time frame, and we're here to help them through their time frame, not ours. We can advise and say, this is what I think. But my favorite phrase to people, I said, and this is profound, is you can only do what you can do when you can do it. Stop worrying about what happened last year. Stop worrying about that rear view mirror, because that was then. Let's look at what we have now. How can we maximize what we have now?
I love it. That is wise. That's profound.
That's profound.
It's like control what you can control.
Better than being
right?
profane, but yeah, but yes, but I mean, you've been around this for so long too, and so I think that the reason that you guys are good at what you do is that you are there to help, and I think if we can be there to help and not have that persona that what's in it for me. I mean, that's the worst thing you can possibly do. And it's not. We're here. We are a service industry. You're here to service. I'm here to service. So that's what needs to be paramount and top of mind always.
Couldn't agree more. Thank you so much, Kelly, for just being here with us, sharing your
You guys are wonderful. You make my life easy. I mean, so.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
Yes. I mean, so, yeah.
Well, wonderful. I won't take too much more of your time, but I will ask for anybody who's watching this, where should they connect with you? Would you prefer they go to your website, or is there, a phone number you want to leave, or, what would be the best way for them to connect?
You know what? I'm a little bit, yes, I am new technology and everything, but I'm also really old school, and I'm kind of old. So, I love phone conversation because I know we're in a world of text because we're all moving so fast, and sometimes it's needed to get things across. Mm-hmm. But just call me. My phone number is 303-550-3227. Or Kelly Nichols at remax.net. It's all one word. So just Kelly Nichols, Nichols. Kelly Nichols at remax.net. And those are the best places, I think, to connect. So
direct conversation in that way. I love it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Kelly.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm privileged. Thank you.
We appreciate it. All right, everybody. We will see you next time. Thanks so much.
Take care.
Bye.